We're starting with some really tragic developing news out of Louisville, Kentucky. What should have been a completely routine takeoff for a UPS cargo jet, well, it turned into an absolute catastrophe. Let's get right into what we know so far about this incident at Muhammad Ali International Airport.
So, picture this. It's just a regular Tuesday evening in Louisville. We're at the Muhammad Ali International Airport, which, is a massive hub for cargo flights like this.
And right there on the tarmac, you have this UPS cargo jet. A 3-person crew is on board, going through their final preparations, getting ready for takeoff. But that plane, it was never going to leave the ground.
Yeah, it never even made it into the air. A witness on the ground described the scene with just 5 absolutely chilling words. The jet erupted into flames.
Okay, so let's piece this all together. We're going to break down the chain of events here based on the very first reports we're getting from the safety investigators who were right there on the scene.
You have to understand, this whole disaster unfolded in just a few terrifying seconds. The plane is on the runway, it's gaining speed for takeoff, and then this catastrophic failure. Its left engine literally, physically detaches from the wing. I mean, can you imagine? With the plane so critically damaged before it was even airborne, it just plunged to the ground moments later.
And the impact of that crash was just immediate and absolutely devastating. We're now starting to learn the first tragic details about the human cost of all this.
Officials have now confirmed a devastating toll. At least 12 people died as a result of the crash.
So here's the breakdown of what we know about the casualties. The 3 crew members were on the jet itself, of course. The crash happened right at the edge of the airport, and the plane actually careened through some industrial buildings there. A coroner is now on site, but it's important to note the identities of the victims have not yet been released to the public.
A really somber statement from Kentucky's Governor Andy Beshear just highlights the immense and difficult task that first responders are facing. He said, and I'm quoting here, "The condition of some of the bodies could make it difficult to confirm their identities." Just awful.
In the aftermath of any air disaster, the most critical question is always just why? Why did this happen? Well, the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, they're on the scene and they have already released what looks to be a crucial first clue.
So what went wrong? What caused this routine takeoff to end in such a horrible disaster?
The initial finding is, well, it's as shocking as it is simple. An engine fell off the plane. This is an incredibly rare and severe type of mechanical failure. It's the kind of event that engineers design incredibly complex systems specifically to prevent. The NTSB has confirmed the specific details. It was the aircraft's left engine that detached. And critically, this happened while the plane was still on the ground during its takeoff roll, just moments before it was supposed to take flight.
But discovering that the engine detached, that's really just the first step. This initial finding now kicks off a much larger, much more complex investigation.
So the investigation follows a very clear procedure. First, they secure the crash site. Second, that painstaking, heartbreaking process of identifying the victims. Third, they start analyzing all the evidence. And you can bet that detached engine is going to be the key focus. And all of that leads to the final, crucial step, determining the root cause. It's not enough to know what happened. They have to find out why it happened.
So the key takeaway from these first hours of the investigation is this. This was not an incident that occurred at 30,000 feet. This was a catastrophic mechanical failure on the ground, just seconds away from flight, with devastating consequences.
And that leaves us with the single most important question, the one the NTSB will spend months, maybe even years, working to answer. How and why does a jet engine designed with so many redundancies and safety features simply detach from an aircraft? That is the mystery at the heart of this tragedy.